Well, a big story coming in through from Christian Falk, a very close source to the side of Bayern Munich, has confirmed to us that Manchester United has gone ahead to hold what we call concrete talks between them and Bayern Leverkusen for the player known as Frimpong. Welcome to the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, as the search for the centre back continues, Manchester United have gone ahead to obviously look into a big list, and Dumfries is one of those that is going to be linked to the club of Man United. And guess what? Onana was seen with Dumfries yesterday when he went ahead to pay a visit to Inter Milan at San Siro when they are playing against Cagliari. Onana has gone ahead to speak out onto what he went ahead to do there, and some people were like, maybe he's gonna be agent Onana to see to it that this player really comes to Man United. Dalot has gone ahead to speak about the FA Cup. The same applies to Onana, and we're here to obviously bring you what we think is going to be right for the club of Man United. So, the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. To the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. And here we come to obviously bring you what these stories are all about. Now, where should we start? Let's go Frimpong. Let's see close to 300 likes, smash in this video, and continue to subscribe because we want to hit 18,000 subscribers before the end of this month, if at all goes well. Now, let's obviously start it off with a story coming in through from Christian Falk, cross source coming in through from Germany, and Christian Falk is the head of football at the Sports Build, and he is really a close source to what we call Bayern Munich. He has gone ahead and really said the following via quote offside. Manchester United have held concrete talks with Bayern Leverkusen. With Bayern Leverkusen is Jeremie Frimpong. He has £34 million release clause. That is 40 million euros, if at all I'm not mistaken. Now, Jeremie Frimpong, why him come to Man United? We all know the problem that Erik ten Hag doesn't want to see Aaron Wan-Bissaka at the club of Man United, and he needs to be having two right backs who are really at the same wavelength, such that they compete and really get him the best that we deserve. And Jeremie Frimpong is one of those that is going to hit obviously see his team really win the Bundesliga, breaking the dominancy of Bayern Munich for the past 11 years, because Bayern Munich had gone ahead to lift the trophy for the past 11 years, and guess who came up and really stopped them? It was Alonso, and Jeremie Frimpong plays for Alonso's side known as Bayern Leverkusen. When you look at Frimpong, he's really a very good player when it comes to the offensive play, and if you're a club like Man United, all you need is a player with an offensive play. For example, when you're having him on the bench, you can take him off, you can take Dalot off and bring him on because of how he surges into the final third. And everyone knows how good this player is going to hit to be. When you look at his stats there, 27 games in the Bundesliga, and he has gone ahead to score 8 goals and 7 assists. That is Jeremie Frimpong for you. 15 goal contribution in the Bundesliga. In the UEFA Europa League, 6 games, 2 goals. Those are 10 goals. In the DFL Pokal Cup, 5 games, 2 goals. Those are 12 goals for a right back. Guys, that is really very good for any player who comes in through to obviously put in a shift like that. So for me, I'm pro Jeremie Frimpong. And he's one of those players that Man United have always gone ahead to really want to bring in through ever since last season. But looked like it couldn't obviously work out for the better. It shows you the scouting eye of Erik ten Hag that even before he went ahead to put up these numbers, like I was going to have to put up this season to aid his side to win what we call the Bundesliga, ten Hag had gone ahead to spot him as one of those players. And I think he's one of those players that Man United is really looking at to sign. And if at all concrete talks have gone ahead to be held between the team of Man United and Jeremie Frimpong, that means Manchester United has gone ahead to obviously agree on bringing this player in a unison. And I tell you, Omar Berada, Willox, Joan Cloud, and Erik ten Hag might have gone ahead to agree on this player. and talks are really going on. And it looks like Horizon, you know him, Horizon Hargreaves, who came in from Adidas, is going to be leading the negotiations with Willox, who is expected to obviously be named as United's technical director very soon, you know, from now. And it shows you that we have the money to sign a player of this ilk, because I understand that we can get £34 million from the sale of Aaron Bissaka. Even if we get 30 from him, adding £4 million to obviously get Frimpong in, it won't really be bad business. That is it. It won't be really bad business. And if you take off Bissaka and you bring on Frimpong, because Frimpong is still young, when you look at his age, he's still young and has a lot to learn in the game of football. He's just 23 years of age. 2-3 years to kick into his prime. That shows you how beautiful this guy is and how we need him at the club of Man United. And for me, I'm all in for Frimpong. I've gone ahead to love the way he plays. And if teams like Man City go for him, because a team like Man City can go for him, or Arsenal, or Liverpool, they can go for him, and you'll see how good this player has gone ahead to be. So I don't want us to fall a culprit of players, of seeing players that we want to go to other sides. And I think Omar Berrada can easily engineer these deals to obviously coming through to happen. And Man United is not going to be playing the Champions League, for that I know, but Bayer Leverkusen is going to be playing the Champions League, and other teams that are going to be interested in signing Jeremie Frimpong are going to be playing the Champions League. Now, what is the solution for this? I think we've gone ahead to see teams not in the Champions League signing good players who are wanted by teams in the Champions League. I think Liverpool was not in the Champions League. They managed to convince Soboslai, McAllister, Hendo, and Gravenberch to join them. Yet United wanted to sign Gravenberch. I think even Tottenham Hotspur. Then for McAllister, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool. 4 teams wanted to sign McAllister, but he ended up going to a club that is not in the Champions League. Yet most of the teams that really wanted him were playing to the Champions League. Now, I think you get my picture that I'm really painting. When you look at which other player? I will look at Chelsea. Caicedo was wanted by Man United and Arsenal, but he decided to go to Chelsea that is not in the Champions League. So I tell you, it's very easy for you to obviously sign a player even if you're not in the Champions League, but it depends on the plan that you show the player and how you negotiate the deal. If you negotiate it earlier and it is really good, the player will obviously come in through and really give you green light for that deal to happen. And for him, it's really easy. The only thing is to really convince the player, because the price is known. For the side of Bayer Leverkusen, they're just looking or waiting in for the money to come in through. And if at all the player says, I want to go that side, then they'll obviously sanction him to leave the club. And it looks like he wants to move on to the big side of Man United. Now, there is another player that's going to come in the picture as far as the right back position is concerned. Dumfries has always been talked about by very many people that Man United is interested in him. And guess what? Onana was at San Siro yesterday to watch his former side Inter Milan game against Cagliari. And he was with this guy. They were seated together and they're really having fun together. So is he going to act as an agent? Because why is it that amongst all players, he went ahead to obviously see himself be with Dumfries? I really like Dumfries also. Any of the two that we can get, 2 Dutch players, and I think their right back qualities are really immense and they can really help us. If we can get in Frimpong, better. If we can get in Dumfries, better. But Onana was seated next to Dumfries and they're really having a chat. And we don't know exactly what they're talking about, but rumors are that maybe he is trying to really tell him, please, can you come to Man United? Can you come to Man United? And I know his buyout clause is like, or his price tag is like 50 million euros. That's like 43 million pounds, you know, 10 more million pounds than Jeremie Frimpong. So any of the two, whoever we get, I'll be hugely excited to welcome him at Man United because I know the quality they possess. Press resistant player. He's really one of those players that will ever look at and really understand that you have really what we call a decent modern right back, and Onana was there to obviously talk to the guy. But Andre Onana was asked why he went ahead obviously coming through to travel from Manchester to go to Milan to obviously sit here to this guy. He said, Inter is a family for me. I love the fans. I wish them all the best. Regrets? No, I'm happy at Man United, but I'm so happy for Inter. The club is incredible and this team is fantastic. Obviously, they are going to win the league. They are going to win the league because they are very many points ahead of the second place side, and he knows that this side is really great. They went ahead obviously get him on a free from Ajax. After getting him on a free from Ajax, they sold him for £50 million to the club of Man United, and he was there just he thinks Inter is his family. That's what he tells us, but I tell you, it's not really one of those reasons. I think he might be really telling him that, please, United is in need of you, and you are needed to obviously come and show up to the fullest in here. So Inter Milan is having 83 points in 32 games, and and AC Milan is next to them with 69 points. That means they are 14 points, 14 points ahead of Inter Milan, and they play 38 games, meaning that 6 games to go, and out of those 6 games, all they need to do, I think, is to win 3. I think 2. If Inter wins the next 2 games, they clinch the trophy, and I think United are really using Andre Onana to obviously convince this guy to come in through, and I know he can really do the job very well because players can easily convince their players to come to our club, but it depends on how United's pockets will be standing, because Ten Hag wants to first build that central defense in a very, very strong way, because this season, what is going to hit to really led to us ruining what we call our season, it's the central defense. Now, if you're really having in players who are not injury prone, because Frimpong is not injury prone, Dumfries is not injury prone, I think that acts well for the club of Man United, and I'm super excited for what United is going to hit to be doing into that ilk. Now, we go to Andre Onana again. He was asked on to what he feels about the semi-finals of the FA Cup. He said it's very exciting, the semi-final at Wembley, but like I always said, you have to win when you play for this great club. We are going there to win. The match will be difficult, but we are Man United, and we have to be ready. So obviously we are Man United, but these players are going to be saying that for a very long time, that we are Man United, we are so and so. Yet there is what we call a very hard run that we're gonna hit to have. In the last 7 games, we're gonna hit to win 1, lost, I think we're gonna hit to lose, is it 1 or 2, and we're gonna hit to draw like 3-4 times. So that is really ugly for the club of Man United. So if I told you that we need to really win, why haven't we been winning in these remaining games? So I'm worried about the game of Coventry, I tell you, because for a team that went ahead to knock out the side of knock out the side of Wolverhampton Wanderers, that means on a neutral ground, with them having close to 40,000 fans there at Wembley, they can cause us a shock because these players are not really running a lot. This team is going to come in through to run against us through the entire 90 minutes, and we need to obviously elevate our levels of performance if you are to play into the final of the FA Cup. Now, lastly, even Diogo Dalot had something to answer about that, and he said it's a huge opportunity for us to go to the FA Cup final. We have to have the same attitude and the same energy that we should have had throughout the season, and the motivation has to be there because we want to be in the final. We want to win it. So obviously when you hear him say that he wants to win it, everyone wants United to win this trophy. But even if you go against Coventry and you go into the final, can we obviously go ahead and beat the trounced Chelsea or Man City? Because last season we played Man City in the final and they went ahead to obviously annihilate us. So as a side of Man United, we need to be really keen on what we are going to be doing at Wembley. But the beauty is that by the time we play the FA Cup final, I think some players would have gone to hit a return, and maybe Varane, Lindelof, Lisandro Martinez will be readily available to feature into that game. So we wait and see how that pans out. But tell me your thoughts about Frimpong. Concrete talks to Manchester United held, confirmed by Christian Falk, very credible journalist, tier 1 journalist coming in from Germany. What do you make about United's goalkeeper talking to Dumfries? Do you think something is being planned, ahead of this transfer window? And what do you make about Onana and Dalot charged for the semi-finals that are going to be played at Wembley? 300 likes is what I'm calling in for. Good night to those going to bed, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later as the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum to the Christians. We cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. I'm out.